Hey renters, I'm Chris the Mortgage Pro and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be diving into a topic that's super important, especially if you're thinking about buying your first home. We're going to be debunking some of the biggest myths about buying a home, because let me tell you, there's a lot of misinformation out there. So whether you're just starting to think about buying or you've been saving up for a while, stick around because we're going to break down these myths and get you on the right track to owning your dream home. Let's dive right in. Okay, let's start with a big one. Myth number one. The myth that you absolutely need a 20% down payment to buy a home. That's a lot of fake news. Now, while it's true that a 20% down payment is ideal because it can help you avoid paying private mortgage insurance or PMI, it's not the only way to buy a home. That's right, you don't have to have a mountain of cash saved up to get into the market. There are actually a ton of different loan options out there for qualified buyers with down payments as low as 3%. That's right, 3%. We're talking FHA loans, Veteran Administration loans, even USDA loans that require zero down payment. That's right, zero. And don't forget about first-time homebuyer programs in your area. These programs often have special perks and incentives, sometimes even offering no down payment options. Though keep in mind, these down payment assistance programs usually come with a slightly higher interest rate. But hey, it's all about weighing your options and finding what works best for your situation. The point is, don't let this 20% myth hold you back. Alright, let's tackle another big myth that keeps people from even trying to buy a home. Myth number 2. The idea that you need perfect credit to get a mortgage. Let's be real, nobody's perfect. And thankfully, your credit score doesn't have to be either. While it's true that a higher credit score will typically qualify you for lower interest rates, which saves you money in the long run, there are plenty of loan options available for people with good, fair, or even poor credit. We're talking FHA loans again. These loans can be accessible to borrowers with credit scores as low as 500 with a 10% down payment. And if you've got a credit score of 580, you could snag an FHA loan with just a 3.5% down payment. See? It's all about finding the right loan for your unique financial situation. Don't let this perfect credit myth scare you away from achieving your homeownership dreams. Myth number 3. Alright, let's talk about the age-old renting versus buying debate. Now this myth is a little trickier because it really depends on your individual circumstances and the specific housing market you're in. But here's the thing. While renting might seem cheaper in the short term, especially if you're only looking at your monthly payments, buying a home is almost always the more cost-effective option in the long run. Why? Because when you own a home, you're building equity. That means that every time you make a mortgage payment, you're actually putting money towards owning a valuable asset. Kind of like putting money into your own 401k. Plus, you get the potential tax benefits of homeownership, and with a fixed-rate mortgage, your monthly payments stay the same, unlike rent, which seems to just keep going up and up. Think about it. You are already paying a mortgage. You're just paying the landlord's mortgage. According to recent studies, the average homeowner retires with 40 times the wealth of the average renter. That's a pretty big difference. So yeah, don't just assume renting is always cheaper. Do your research and crunch the numbers. Myth number 4. Now this myth is something I see a lot of new home buyers fall into. They think, hey, if I'm getting a mortgage, I might as well go big, right? But here's the truth. Bigger isn't always better. In fact, buying more house than you need can actually be a financial burden. Sure, that sprawling mega mansion might seem tempting, but have you thought about the cost of furnishing it, the higher property taxes, the increased utility bills, and the maintenance costs on such a big home? It's important to consider your current needs and your future plans. A smaller, more manageable home might actually be a better fit for your lifestyle and your budget. So before you start browsing those mega mansions, take some time to really think about what makes the most sense for you, both practically and financially. Don't let this bigger is better mentality lead you astray. Myth number 5. Alright, this last myth is for all the millennials and Gen Zers out there who are saddled with student loan debt. It's the misconception that having student loans means you can kiss your dream of homeownership goodbye. And let me tell you, that is simply not true. Having student loan debt doesn't automatically disqualify you from getting a mortgage. Lenders will look at your overall debt-to-income ratio, which is basically how much of your income goes towards paying off debt each month. So, if you have a stable income, a good credit history, and you've been managing your student loans responsibly, you can absolutely still qualify for a mortgage. The key is to be upfront with your lender about your student loan debt and to have a solid plan for repayment. Sometimes he can even help you with a plan. Don't let this myth hold you back. There you have it, folks. The top 5 myths about buying a home, debunked. Don't let these misconceptions hold you back from achieving your dream of home ownership. It's totally possible, even if you don't have perfect credit or a 20% down payment. The most important thing is to do your research. Talk to Chris the Mortgage Pro, and make a plan that works for your individual circumstances. And hey, if you want even more tips and advice on buying your first home, I've got something special for you. I'm giving away my book, How to Fire Your Landlord and Buy Your Own Home, absolutely free for a limited time. Just click the link in the description or check the comments to grab your copy. It's packed with even more insider tips and strategies to help you navigate the home buying process like a pro. Thanks for watching, everyone. Remember, knowledge is power, so arm yourself with the right information and take that first step towards owning your own slice of the American dream. Happy house hunting!